Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler, and thanks for joining us wherever you are. Hit that subscribe button. We thank everybody who gets to be here for the conversations that we get to have. And certainly the pandemic has affected everything. That includes sports. But now we're starting to see some leagues start back up. And the NBA is next on the docket. And certainly that experience is going to be different for everybody involved. But it's also kind of exciting to see how technology can change that and advance it. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. We've got Sara Zuckert, who's the head of Next Gen Telecast for the NBA. Sara, thank you so much for being here with us.
Greg, thanks so much for having me.
I'll say I'm an NBA fan, so I am definitely excited about the return to the schedule. But to give everybody a little bit of context, one of the things about NBA games is that that home crowd, that atmosphere that the games get, whether you're watching it online or whether you're there in person, always a big factor. Naturally, we can't have that this year. And I know the NBA is doing some unique things to help change that up and keep that going. Can you talk to us about what your plan is for those experiences?
Absolutely. So we're really focused on bringing our fans closer to the game as much as possible, given the unique circumstance that we're in. And that starts with things like camera angles. Some fans may have seen already, we're getting closer to the game as much as we can, working with our great partners at TNT and ESPN, as well as all of our regional networks. I'm really looking forward to those camera angles. And we're also allowing fans to cheer virtually through Twitter and through NBA.com and the NBA app. There'll be virtual cheering challenges, and you'll see those results reflected in the arena. The players will see them as well as a way to bring energy back to the venue and let the players know that the fans at home are cheering. And we're also really excited that through Microsoft, we'll be able to bring fans into the arena digitally. About 300 fans per game will be on fan boards, screens that is surrounding the court. Those fans will be seen and heard live in the venue, and so the players will see them and the fans at home will see them as well. And we're really looking forward to bringing that energy back to the arena in the most genuine way that we could. We know it will look different, but we're excited for what the new technology can bring. And it's been off to a great start so far.
Well, talking about that with the tech side of things, so you're going to have these giant screens that are just kind of encircling the entire court, is from what I'm understanding. So 17-foot screens that are going to be there. And then with that, you said you're bringing people in via Microsoft Teams. So how does that actually work? How are fans getting access to that? Like who gets to do that? And what is that process like?
Sure. So we're working with our NBA teams to find fans to participate, and that's through giveaways, through working with community groups, other things like that. Each team will be doing this separately on their own with their own fans, and we're grateful to be able to give teams that ability as well, our teams that is. And then separately, we will be giving away some fans through our partners at Michelob. This is the Michelob Ultra courtside experience. We're very, very happy about this partnership, and Michelob Ultra will be giving away some tickets as well at ultracourtside.com.
To talk about what that experience is like there at the actual venue, one thing I've been watching some other sports leagues just to see how they're doing it, and now MLB, they'll bring it in for the broadcast, bring in like fan noises so it sounds like people are cheering or booing or whatever the case may be. How is the NBA handling that from both the viewer standpoint, from somebody at home watching? Will there be piped in extra sounds? And then also with that, how does that change for the NBA players themselves? Will they get extra boosted audio, or is it just going to be quiet in there for them?
One of the great things about Michelob Ultra courtside is that they're going to be hearing the fans, those 300 or so fans. They'll be heard in the venue and heard on the telecast as well. And so while it, of course, will sound a little bit different than an NBA arena, you will still hear those real cheers going on. And so we think that'll be a great opportunity for players on the court and for fans at home, because this will be audible in our broadcasts on all of our networks, on League Pass. And so this will be, a great opportunity to be able to hear those fans and hear the energy.
I will say, just to be honest with that sounds like a bold move to give 300 people a voice in a live broadcast. Just as you know, most people are going to be fine, but you never know. Are there any plans for how that's going to be moderated or controlled in some way?
Yes, and so on the audio itself, we're going to mix voices together. You won't necessarily hear an individual person screaming out one thing, for example. But yes, we are also planning moderators. We'll have a number of moderators for every game who, I think we're optimistic that we won't really need to go to any great lengths here. But in the event that there is bad behavior, the moderator will be able to act on that. But I think we all
Nice.
are excited about our fans having the opportunity to really cheer.
Oh no, that's a really cool experience. I mean, just the idea of that. I mean, again, it's rethinking everything right now. But I love this idea of people being able to be there. Now, you mentioned camera angles. Can you talk about that and what somebody at home would be able to do, and what kinds of different angles are they going to get to see with this year?
Absolutely. So, because there are no fans, and this really is almost a soundstage that we're setting up here, we're able to move cameras closer to the game than we ever have before. We have new robotic cameras. We're, as always, focused on player health and safety first and foremost. So many of our camera angles have been replaced by new robotic technology and in new positions. So we've got cameras, over 31 cameras on every court, including a rail cam that will run up and down the court parallel to the players that really captures the feel of the game. We also have new under the basket robotics that capture what's going on in the paint. It's a really cool angle that we're excited about. And we also have something we call courtside cam, which is approximately 10 rows back from the court. It would be in a normal arena what you would get from a courtside seat, and really bringing in that angle around the foul line to allow fans to see what's going on. All of our broadcasts will feature all of these angles, and we'll also make some of these available through NBA League Pass and our partners at TNT and ESPN on digital platforms, so that if you prefer to watch the game from one of those angles, you can.
That's pretty cool. I mean, one of the things about NBA games in particular is the closer you are to the court, the more it's just a different game when you're down there. So giving somebody that kind of angle and that kind of viewpoint of it, that's really exciting to actually see how that works. Now, looking at this, technology, and obviously we don't know what the future holds when it comes to any of this stuff, but eventually someday we'll go back to somewhat normal broadcasts and normal games. Was this kind of technology something that you would think to maybe incorporate in once we get back to actual arena basketball?
Yes, we're always focused on innovating our games, and this is a very different and unique opportunity for us to test things out. And so we've taken some learnings from prior testing and brought them here to Orlando, and we'll, of course, depending on what our fans like, and we do appreciate feedback, we'll take some of that forward into the future games as well. I think none of us can really predict what the future will hold, but we are going to use this as a learning opportunity to see, what fans like, and we're optimistic that everyone will like all of it. And so I think this really will be a launch pad for what the future of our games will look like.
Well, it's really exciting. I mean, like we said in the beginning, nobody knew we were going to be here right now, but clearly you're coming up with unique and innovative ways to help bring this game, to people. Everybody wants to see a game, and this is certainly an interesting way to do it and utilizing technology. So it's kind of exciting in that aspect, actually, to see how it all works out. And like you said, it adapts as you go. But Sara, I want to say thank you very much for joining us here, to talk about this and walk through what you're doing. Really exciting stuff that you're creating, and thanks for being here on Digital Trends Live.
Thank you, and encourage all of your viewers to tune in on Thursday night on TNT and see what it looks like live.
Absolutely. Thursday, NBA returns, so everybody go check that out. And thanks so much, Sara.
Thank you.